Well, we had one of these meetings already. The good thing is Pekko was there, so now he remembers all the points. Let's actually do a test now. So today, what did I start with? I can't even remember. There was something first, and then we went into
I cannot remember.
five really good pieces of advice that are free. Yeah. Attitude adjustments.
First you check the homework.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And then you talked about excuses after that.
Yeah. Do I actually need, I need these headphones? How does it sound like this? Does it cut out when you guys talk?
No, it shouldn't. No, it's not.
It's okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Good. Okay. Homework. I'll start there. Since we're so late, we'll just have to start. Okay. Hopefully you see the course material. So this is the course that you all have access to. At the top here, this is the unique content. So the meeting archives are posted here. Then the VRC challenge. How's that going, Pekko? All good?
Still up there. Still running.
Like a monthly or bi-monthly thing, switching up tracks, prizes, all that stuff. This is one of the reasons that all of you who have been in this program already and are signing up again for next year, you get a discount because we didn't have enough meetings and enough activity to really warrant signing up again for the normal price. That's what we decided. So you get a discount, and we are committed to having more consistent activity, also more people involved, so that we can do a better job of providing value for you. And next year we'll have sort of an official season. So starting February and ending in September. So February to September, that's like the bulk of everything we do. And one of those things is this. So the homework. So there's an Excel file you can download and also a Google document. There's also video here from a past live stream where we talk about how to do the different tests and answer questions. But anyway, so this sheet highlights different setup changes. It starts with the basics, like ride height, droop, camber, all the good stuff. And then the idea is that everyone tries at least these different settings and then adds their own feedback. So there's a feedback sheet here, and Pekko has his name here, but nothing more. I do remember he said that it would only take 1 day at the track to do this. And I said, I don't believe that's possible, especially if you do it properly. But at least now we have his name here. Also, Noah Dakota is here. But no actual comments about any of these tests. So what we're going to do for next year is that we're definitely going to continue. But we're going to break it down to more manageable chunks. So one at a time. So we'll have everyone try the ride height settings. We'll give you enough time to get to the track. Hopefully as many of you as possible actually try these, add some notes, and then we'll talk about them in a meeting. So I think we'll have bigger meetings where we discuss set topics, but also then throughout the time period from February to September, we'll have shorter meetings just, for example, to go over, okay, did everyone try the ride height thing? What's the feedback? And then we move on to the next. Because these basic setup changes are often overlooked. They're also not very well understood, even by top drivers, but they are really important. And when it comes to ride height, it may seem like it's so simple. I mean, how much can you do with ride height? But actually, to be honest, if you change your ride height from, let's say, 27 to 23, you should actually adjust other things too. You should readjust your camber, your bump steer, your roll centers even. So changing your ride height a lot to actually perfect the setting, the new setting you have, you need to readjust the rest of the car also. And I don't think anyone really considers that when they change their ride height. So yeah, even just a simple setting like this, if you apply more time and effort to understand it, you realize that there's a lot more to it than just the one setting on its own. Everything affects everything else, so it all hangs together. So this is one of the things that we will focus on next year to really get through this thing. Right? Right, Pekko? Yes. And any thoughts on that? Comments, thoughts, ideas? Nothing? Can I go back to playing the guitar now, or are you guys still there? Silence. I think I can.
Are you talking? Were you talking?
I don't know. Did you hear me or no?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
I heard something squawking away.
Something. Okay. So, Pekko, there were 5 points. You named the first one. Excuses.
Excuses, yeah.
Right? Okay. Now, the plan next year is for Mayako to take over the RC market. How are we going to do that? We're going to dominate everywhere. We're going to have our Lamborghinis, and we're going to do donuts around the John Deeres. And to be able to do that, we need to start now. We need to start preparing mentally for this. It's going to be a tough challenge. And the first thing that we need to remember is that we need to stop with the excuses. When we fail at something, anything at all, like all of us, the first thing that we reach for is an excuse. Like we blame something else. We very rarely just accept that actually, you know what? I'm the reason for this, or I should have done something differently. It's always easier to just look outward. And the first step really is to understand if you want to do well in racing, if you want to learn about car setup, whatever it is that you want to do, you should catch yourself when you are making an excuse. A reason and an excuse, there's not much different, really. It's more about the attitude. So you can figure out the reasons for why something happened, but then that should lead to you understanding what your part in it is, and then thinking of what you're going to change in the future so that it doesn't happen again or that it goes better. So eliminate excuses. That's the first step. This has been the reason for many of my and Pekko's arguments at races, where he after a qualifier or a race or whatever, he'll say something, and then I'll just say like, "That's an excuse," right? Do you agree? He's nodding. He agrees.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. So
But sometimes I'm also right. Okay.
yeah. So like you had an example, actually, I remember now. To explain that one.
Yeah, so basically when we were in China driving some touring car, my I something happened with my electronics and the car just went left and hit the pipe. And then after that, Jakey was like, he was marshalling. He was looking at me like, "What did you do?" And then after that, I said to him, "My car just cut out. Like I couldn't do anything." He was like, "Yeah, bullshit. You didn't do that." And then next run, my car went full throttle to the wall. So then he was like, "Okay, maybe you were right."
Yeah, but even then it was like, well, why didn't you change something then if you knew there was a problem? Oh my God. So there's levels to this, my friends. There's levels to this. But anyway, step 1, eliminate excuses. Then step 2, also important. And now this is mega important because now there are many Americans here, right? Step 2 is, do you remember what it was?
Maximize your car
No.
performance. It wasn't
Nope. No. To eliminate excuses, you need to have self-awareness. You really need to be honest with yourself. You need to understand your real skill level. Like, what are you good at? What are you not good at? What do you need to focus on? I think that a lot of people overestimate their own skill level. And that's a problem because if you don't realistically and accurately judge how good you are at something, then how do you know what to focus on and how to improve? Also, if you overestimate your skill level, then it's very easy for you to get lost in the excuses because you believe that you are better than you actually are. And then when things don't go your way, you think, well, I did this right. I'm good enough to do better. Then the problem has to be elsewhere. So they kind of hang together a bit, like eliminating excuses and having an accurate idea of your own skill level. And that's why I said this is now really important in this meeting because there are a lot of Americans here. And I don't know why, but when I've been racing in America, you have all these different racing classes. And the lower the class, the worse people are when it comes to self-awareness. Sportsman class, they feel that they are almost equal to the pro drivers. It's just that they don't have the same equipment or some other excuse. So I would say that it's really important to be honest with yourselves about your performance level. What do you think about this, Kevin? Kevin went silent. Maybe I struck a nerve.
What do I think about it? I think that I'm the
Yeah.
best driver ever and your car sucks.
Exactly. See, this case in point, Kevin. Kevin got a measurement of his own on Wiki, and now he's becoming a problem in this community. He's just his ego is. I think we have to contain his ego, basically.
I'm just now becoming a problem. I think I've always been a problem.
I think there was a time when Kevin was banned. Like I'm banned now from the local track.
I was banned from IARCO. Yeah, you banned me.
So anyway, moving on. The third point, Pekko, do you remember? So we have eliminate excuses, have an accurate assessment of your actual skill level, so self-awareness. Then?
That was the maximize the car, right?
Yes. So this is Pekko's strength. It's important to understand that there are many different tires out there, cars out there. There are many different ways of setting up a car. The only thing that really matters is what you have right now. So this is your car, then this matters. Whatever that guy over there has, it doesn't matter. You have to look at what you have and you have to make the most out of that. So focus your efforts on the car you have, the tires you have, all the options that you have and you can change. That's what you should focus on. Sometimes you don't have the best, but you can still make the most out of what you have. Also, sometimes maybe you want to adjust something that you can't. That's when a Dremel comes in handy. If you want to move your lower arm forwards or backwards to try something, but you can't on the car, don't make an excuse. Well, I can't adjust that. Make it adjustable. Bust out the Dremel, try whatever it is that you want to try. So focus on what you have, not what other people have. Don't stress about not being able to do something or not being able to run another tire. Instead, spend time thinking, okay, this is how the tire works. What can I change on the car to improve the performance? That's what the best racers do. Then, next step. Do you remember?
Set up your car for yourself.
Exactly. A mistake that many people do is they go online, then they look at the latest, greatest setup from a pro driver or whoever won the worlds just now. Okay, well, that's obviously the setup that I need. And that's just not the case. First of all, many brands, many drivers actually lie on their setup sheets. They don't post the accurate setup that they are actually running, which means that the setup they post isn't really helpful. Sometimes it's actually not even that good for the conditions that they run on. So they don't post the real setup. They just post a setup. That's something to keep in mind. We don't do that at Mayako, but I do know that some other brands do that. Also, even if that setup that's posted is 100% accurate, there's another issue, and that is that setup is really good for that particular driver. And chances are that you are not on the same skill level as that driver, or you prefer a car to drive quite differently to what that driver does. So then again, the setup isn't going to work for you. Driving styles are very different, even if your skill level is very similar. Like, for example, we had Ronne Falk and Robert on the team at the same time, and they couldn't really drive each other's cars. I would say that Ronne Falk could drive both cars, but he was a lot faster with his own, and Robert couldn't drive David's car. Basically, he would just do donuts and fly off the track. So even if you have two drivers and the skill level is very close, preferences can be so different, driving styles can be so different that the same setup just won't work. So it's really important that you remember that you need to set the car up for yourself, for your skill level, and for your preference. And then the last thing, and please note, all of these things, these are things that you can do already now because they're free. It's basically all in our heads. The last thing is actually the driving itself. And this is something that it really helps if you are at the track and you have timing. So maybe you have your mechanic do lap times for you, or you're using some kind of app that can tell you the lap times. If you do a lap and you immediately hear the lap time, then you can begin to learn how to drive to turn fast laps. Because a mistake that people often do is when they try to go faster, they start entering corners faster, trying to drive harder, attacking the track more, but actually they end up going slower doing that. Most of the time, to go faster, you don't really push harder, you drive more precise. So you try to focus on maintaining your corner speed more, getting on throttle slightly earlier but the right amount, slowing down at the exact right moment for corners. So it's actually about precision, not about pushing more and basically pulling the trigger more. And Pekko has some experience in this because we've been trying to not only improve Pekko's consistency, but also improve his speed so that he can match the top guys in the world. So maybe Pekko can explain a bit about this process.
Yeah, so we have been doing this a lot, and basically the thing is that sometimes when you are pushing and you're trying to do the best lap or you're running the 5-minute run and you try to do the fastest time, you're pushing a bit too much and you need to back off. Actually, at the end of the day, quite a bit. So it's something that you need to try on the track. That when you have someone to tell the lap times or something is telling the lap times, just do a couple laps super slowly. That you feel like, oh, you're going just super slowly around the track, but you're still precise. You're carrying the speed around the corners and you're hitting all the inside lines and everything perfectly. But just calm down a bit, take like 20% of your driving and just calm down a bit, and then you hear like, oh, I did a couple tenths faster lap time than my best lap was. And then you teach yourself to drive slower to become faster, basically. And this, especially on higher grip tracks, this is like good thing to do. And also, I would say also on lower grip and bumpy tracks, it for sure works, but you can get away with more aggressive driving style on bumpy and lower grip tracks for sure. But still, I think this slower style, driving style, I think it will be good for both and you will get away with it for sure. Yeah, it's just something that you need to think that, oh, now I will go couple laps bit slower and see where the lap time is and figure out the right speed for yourself. And then you realize that, oh, I can do 5 minutes way more consistently when you don't have to work so much. You're not pushing that much. You're just turning laps and, oh, this was like, that's when your car works, you will be faster when you're doing these slower lap times. But also sometimes it's good to try to do these 150% runs that you're just pushing a lot, because sometimes you can also make faster laps when you're pushing that 150, but you never can do 5 minutes with that. When you are in a race and let's say you have 2 laps to go and you're trying to catch someone, then yes, you can do 150. You can put everything on the table, but not in qualifying run. So just try to manage your speed and see where the sweet spot is. And I think there is something that you can learn for sure for the future to manage your speed on the track.
And I think that when you practice this and drive more, and when you learn to feel the lap time and you drive a bit differently, and before you hear that lap time, you can already guess quite accurately what the lap is going to be. That means that you are in tune with your driving and the car. And that's also when you can learn about setup, because then when you make a change, you'll notice it. So you'll know what changed on the lap time, but you'll also have a feeling for how the handling of the car changed. And when you're at this point, then going through those homework exercises is really valuable, because then you will have reliable information. And if you write the notes there, you'll also remember, because if you do many tests, then it's very easy to forget what you have already learned once. So keeping notes is really valuable. Any comments, questions, anything about these things? Because I think these are really important. And if you sort of understand these points and you live by them, then for sure you will improve a lot and quickly.
That was really clear.
It was clear.
Yeah, it was.
Good. Now, what else did we talk about earlier than these points? I feel like there was something. The bags. What else? I can't remember anymore. Well, what I'm building right now is a kind of leftover kit. Okay, we had some nitro kits and parts, so we have an MPC 2025, but it's pre-packed, so it's a regional kit. It has the latest shock towers, and it has the F8 chassis, so the standard length, not the 2+2. It has the latest A block, the one with the carbon piece, which is stronger, of course, through hinge pins. The C-hub with the insert. What else is relevant? It's basically a good spec for a car. It's a higher spec than the standard Mayako. So normally you have to be a member to get this car. We have a few in the US shop and also in the EU shop and international shop. So we are selling these at a good price now before the 26 kits. And for next year, the member car will have the LCG suspension. So it will be stock on the Nitro and the e-buggy. In the next meeting, I'll show you the e-buggy also, the saddle design, which will be the member version. And we'll talk about all the different car versions in the MPC meeting. What else?
Has any testing been done with the LCG kit as far as what it likes better, the standard chassis or the 2+2?
Not conclusively, no. I don't know if someone here in the meeting has tested and has any feedback on that.
When we were at Nat's, Nate's car was on the standard chassis. Pecco, I don't remember what Cav was running. First, Nate had LCG on the e-buggy, didn't he? He didn't have it on his Nitro.
E-buggy, yeah. Cav was running longer in Nitro. But I remember I haven't tried, but Cav tried longer or shorter. And basically the difference was that the shorter was a bit more aggressive, but the lap times were more consistent with the longer one. It's just easier to drive with the 2+2.
Kind of makes sense with a high grip like Thornhill is.
I think we were testing at the DNC track when he was testing.
Okay, something we're doing for next year is some bags, clothing with YMP branding. So the Youth Mentoring Program logo, Mayako logo, and Invisible Speed logo. And you have an opportunity to get your name on the bags also. So that we'll have radio bags, car bags, tool bags, oil bags. And we need to decide if we want just a black background or if we want some pattern on it. This is the tools pattern from Invisible Speed here in gray, for example. It's faintly there, but it looks black as a thumbnail at least. So there's a poll here, actually, you can vote. I wanted the plain black, but we're going to decide by having a poll on Discord. And it seems to be pretty even right now, which one people prefer. So go and vote there. So oil bags we have for shock and diff oils, pretty handy. Radio bags, good too. We'll put them up online and you can place your orders. So we'll gather everyone's orders, pre-order, so we know how many to make, and then the names we need to print on them, and that's going to happen here in the next month or so. Clothing we'll also have then in EU, USA, and not sure about international, but for sure in EU shop and USA shop. T-shirts, hats, hoodies.
Any idea about the pricing?
No idea about the pricing. Probably not like X-ray.
That is
They're
easy.
expensive, right? Yeah. Pekko, do you have any floating steering servo parts?
Maybe.
I just realized I need that. Probably.
I will check.
Maybe
I can
of an
bring
old
them
car.
later. You need them.
Okay. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Maybe you just have to go watch the first meeting from today. If we covered something else. Everyone's all quiet today. What's happened? Did the world end?
Most of us are at work.
Oh, that's why, yeah. Timing. Oh, yeah. At work. Okay, so anyway, the idea now is that we'll have more people involved, actually, even Cavalieri. So by involving more people in this program, we'll be able to have more consistent meetings and then get through all the things that we wanted to get through. And we have different age groups, also different skill levels, and we want to cater to them. Eventually, we want this program to be one where you can join Mayako, you can begin learning, improving your racing, and then you can progress. And as you progress, the support from Mayako increases, which helps you being able to race more, race internationally. And then if you have the skills and the dedication, then you could even reach the world elite level. That's the idea. So it's a way to enjoy the hobby, if that's all you want it to be, or it's a way to help you progress through the ranks in racing. That's really the goal and the idea. And we do that by building up groups of people around the world. So there's a region in Italy, for example, and a track in Italy. And at that track, we have a mentor or a couple of mentors and some young drivers. And the mentors have the skills, knowledge, experience. They speak with us here at Mayako also, and they can then help the young drivers locally, even if they only speak Italian. That's the whole point. We can do this as a community globally in different languages and grassroots level. So that's what we're working towards now. It's a process. I think the first year, even though we didn't really achieve what we wanted, it's still a really good start, because the people who are here, they get the idea, and it's been well received already now, and now we just continue down this road.